What is up, guys? It's me, Exactly. I honestly can't remember the last time where there was this much actually relevant news in the NBA to talk about. The last time this happened was probably around the time free agency started. Man, I can't wait for the season to start back up. Making the videos I've been making talking about specific players or teams, it's cool and all, I do like doing that, but there's nothing I enjoy more than talking about relevant, ongoing stuff in the NBA. NBA current topics. And that's what we got today. We got three kind of four topics to talk about. An NBA insider claiming LeBron James is leaving Cleveland. LeBron's camp almost coming out straight up saying that he's staying in Cleveland. LeBron James reportedly meeting with Kyrie Irving in Miami. And some exciting news about Dwyane Wade. Talking about all of that stuff in today's video, so let's go. The first three stories I'm gonna try and group into just one story since they are all kind of related to each other. But first, we gotta backtrack a bit. The day before yesterday, a report came out saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers were now operating under the assumptions that LeBron James wasn't going to re-sign with them after this year. Saying that if they're gonna trade Kyrie Irving, it's gonna be for a young rebuilding package. That's nothing we really didn't already know. However, a list of players also came out that they would love to trade Kyrie Irving for. Josh Jackson, Jason Tatum, or Jamal Murray. However, that's almost irrelevant as none of those players are really up for trade. The Knicks already said that they're not willing to trade Porzingis. The Suns already said they're not willing to trade Josh Jackson. And the Denver Nuggets already said that they're not willing to trade Jamal Murray. The only team that didn't say anything was the Boston Celtics. They never said that they weren't trading Jason Tatum, but it's pretty much assumed that since they didn't trade him for Jimmy Butler during the NBA draft. So yeah, the Cavs most likely aren't getting any of those guys for Kyrie Irving. But of course, they're still operating under the conditions like LeBron James won't be coming back next year. They're not trying to be screwed over like they were the last time LeBron left. So that's what went down a couple of days ago. And then yesterday, some more news came out compiling onto that, where this NBA insider came out and said that there is a 0% chance or 100% chance that LeBron James is leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers, that he will not re-sign with the Cavs, mainly because the relationship between LeBron and the ownership of the Cleveland Cavaliers is damaged beyond repair. According to that guy, LeBron James is as good as gone. On top of all of that though, Kevin Durant also released a pretty cryptic tweet about the situation too, saying that you can't trade a legend. Most people thought that was referring to how LeBron James said that he won't waive his no trade clause for any team, that he won't let the Cleveland Cavaliers trade him. And I'm not gonna lie, when that news came out, I had an entirely different video planned for today. I was gonna be talking about what the Cavs should do in preparation of LeBron James leaving. I was gonna say that they should trade away Kevin Love right now, because if LeBron James does leave, then what's the point of holding on to Kevin Love this season? Trade him right now while his trade value is as high as it's going to get. But then not too long, actually maybe like an hour or two after all of that, another source came out, someone from LeBron James's camp came out refuting all the news that had been reported about LeBron James leaving Cleveland. The source is totally off, especially about the relationship between LeBron and ownership. Totally off, he said. That would mean that LeBron James is planning on staying in Cleveland, if I'm not interpreting that wrong. Is that right? Kind of sounds like that's what they mean, but who knows? So that came out, and then the last bit of news that came out about this whole situation was the report that LeBron James and Kyrie Irving met in Miami. From very reliable sources, plural. Kyrie and LeBron were in the same room over the weekend in Florida. Apparently these guys were in the same room, and here's the deal. I don't know if there's a thawing out process. All I do know is that LeBron didn't punch Kyrie the way Stephen A thought he would. I can report that. As for what they talked about or discussed, it was very cool. They didn't get into any heated discussion. Now this is where all just comes down to complete speculation. Nobody knows what was said. Some people think LeBron James went there to hear from himself that Kyrie Irving really does want to leave. And if that was the case, that LeBron James tried to talk Kyrie Irving out of being traded. And they thought that since LeBron James was trying to talk Kyrie out of being traded, that means that he is also staying in Cleveland as well. Since if he was planning to leave after this year, why would he care whether or not Kyrie Irving was leaving? I mean, for real, how would that make LeBron James look? He begs Irving to stay, he gets Irving to stay, and then LeBron leaves the very next year. I'd be heated if that happened to me if I was Irving. So those are a couple of possibilities, but like I said, who knows? For all we know, LeBron James could have just asked Kyrie Irving why he unfollowed him on Instagram. Or maybe he was just there to let Kyrie Irving know that there were no hard feelings on his end. Or maybe he was just there to let Kyrie Irving know that there were no hard feelings on his end. You know, all these reports came out about LeBron James supposedly taking these shots at Kyrie Irving in these like subliminal, slimy little discreet ways. Stephen A saying that he would punch Kyrie Irving in the face if he ever saw him. LeBron just wanted to reach out to Kyrie Irving in person, let him know none of that was true, and try to clear the air a bit just in case Kyrie Irving doesn't get traded, especially since you got training camp about less than a month away now. If the two of them didn't clear the air before that, things might not have gone so well at training camp. I can guarantee you there would have been this awkward tension. It would have been kind of like the first time you see an ex after some terrible breakup, or if you're dating a new girl and you meet her family for the first time and then you get there to her family's house only to find out that you used to date her sister too. I think the awkward tension would have been on that level. This way though, if they did clear the air right now, things won't be nearly as bad going into camp. Things will move on from there and there wouldn't be nearly as much problems chemistry-wise between the teams. And if I had to put my money on it, I think if the two of them did meet in Miami, that's kind of what the discussion was like. The two of them clearing the air just in case a trade doesn't go down before training camp and the regular season start. Because honestly, I can't imagine LeBron James getting down and begging Kyrie Irving to stay on his team. Kyrie Irving's a grown man. If he wants to leave, let him leave. Anyways, why'd you want to try and keep someone on your team who doesn't want to be there? That just doesn't make any sense. This had better be half. Why would you want to let Dwyane Wade waste one of the good years he has left on the Chicago Bulls? Nothing personal to Chicago, but when Dwyane Wade opted into the Chicago Bulls contract earlier this summer, his 1 year, $24 million that he has left due to him, was told by management and ownership that the team wouldn't be trading Jimmy Butler. So he thought at the very least he'd be able to compete for a playoff spot in the East. We all know how that went down. The Chicago Bulls went into the full rebuilding mode. They traded away Jimmy Butler for a bunch of young pieces, and they let Rajon Rondo walk away. And now it looks like they're about to do the same thing with Dwyane Wade, as a report came out yesterday saying that the two sides are expected to reach a buyout agreement in the upcoming month, meaning that Dwyane Wade will be a free agent and able to sign anywhere he wants. This is great news for the entire NBA. Even better news for any team that would like to add Dwyane Wade, because if they want him, they won't have to pay him much at all, since almost every player that ever gets bought out signs somewhere for the veteran minimum, since they're still getting their main income from the team that bought them out. And there's already a short list of teams that are expected to be interested in Wade, and that Wade is supposed to be interested in signing with once he is bought out. The Rockets, the Spurs, the Heat, and the Cavs. Seems pretty standard. That's the list of teams you would expect to see, and all of those teams would be pretty good if they got Dwyane Wade. However, if Dwyane's goal is to win a championship, then the Miami Heat might not make the most sense, but you can never count them out, since Dwyane Wade still does love the organization and he still considers Miami his home. Out of the Cavs, the Rockets, and the Spurs though, it's kind of hard to say which one Dwyane Wade would choose. Of course, if he wanted to play with the Cleveland Cavaliers, he would once again get to team up with his best friend and LeBron James and pretty much get a free pass to the NBA Finals. If he went to the Spurs, he could help them possibly take down the Golden State Warriors, and that could be a huge incentive. And same thing for the Houston Rockets. However, I feel like if the Houston Rockets are able to pull off a trade for Carmelo Anthony before Dwyane Wade gets bought out, then they have to become at that point the favorites to land Dwyane Wade when he is bought out. I mean, just think about it. The Houston Rockets would then have Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony. Both of those guys are great friends with Dwyane Wade. On top of that, you add in playing with James Harden in the mix, extreme championship contenders, plus then you get to play with a couple of your best friends as well. I don't see how Dwyane Wade could pass that up. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, why does this matter? Dwyane Wade isn't even the same player that he used to be. He's washed up. You're right. He's not the same player that he used to be, but Dwyane Wade is still freaking Dwyane Wade. He might be 35 and not the same Dwyane Wade when he was like 26, but he was still producing very, very good numbers last year. 18 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds per game when he was healthy. What team wouldn't want to add that level of production plus all of the experience that he has for the veterans minimum, which he will sign for? Don't be sleeping on Dwyane Wade. But that's going to lead us to the question of the day. What team do you guys think would benefit the most from signing Dwyane Wade? Where do you think he should go? Let me know down in the comment section below, but now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, I asked you guys, what under the radar player do you think could improve the most next year? What under the radar player do you think could have a breakout season next year? And here is what you said. I think Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. I kind of agree with what you said about Turner. He can maybe even be a 2010 guy with over 2 blocks. Hield averaged 19 points per game in the last month of the season, averaged a little over 15 points per game in Sacramento. I could see him averaging around 23 points per game and being one of the 3-point field goal leaders. Perhaps he could even do better than that. Jonathan Simmons will easily average 20 plus points per game. You forgot Jose Calderon. Oh my, you right. This will finally be the year Jose Calderon makes his name known throughout the NBA. High key, I think he could win Most Improved Player, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Sixth Man of the Year, be the NBA scoring champion, Rookie of the Year, and Coach of the Year all in the same year. And if he does that, he will be the first player in NBA history since LeVar Ball to accomplish that feat. Now, but for real, Jonathan Simmons is an interesting name. The only thing is he's on the Orlando Magic, and the Orlando Magic already have a bunch of wing players and guards, so I'm just not sure if he's gonna start, if he's gonna come off the bench, what his role will be, anything like that, because let's be real here, no one quite knows what the Orlando Magic have been doing ever since they lost Dwight Howard. But that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more daily NBA videos. Until tomorrow, keep getting the bugs, Team HTC, and I'm out of here.